Hi, Angela. Hi, Rob. Hi, everybody.
Hiya.
Hi. And who else have we got in here? We've got Kirsten. Hi, Kirsten. Oh, that looks like lovely weather where you are, Kirsten. Hi, Mike.
Yes. How are you? Good morning.
Oh, not too bad. I was running a couple of minutes late this morning. I just had to drop my son off at school, and there was some quite full-on roadworks on the way back. So they're relieved. I've pretty much made it on time.
Oh yeah, no, it's all right. Just good.
Yeah. Hi, Nikki.
Hi, how are you?
Good. I've got no idea how many people are going to be jumping on this morning, so I'll just give it another couple of minutes. But probably
Sounds like a few of us struggling now.
It does, which is why I think we need to just really be able to zone in and concentrate on getting people through these hurdles. And I think also there's different stages as well. So this is kind of like going to be like an exploring video, this particular one, just trying to figure out where people are at.
Leave that with me. I'll give him a call today and see how it goes.
Sorry, didn't he? Oh, somebody's on the phone. That looks gorgeous where you are. Who's that? Angela, or with a blue sky behind you?
Kirsten.
Kirsten, sorry, Kirsten.
No worries. I'm in Christchurch.
Oh, lovely. You got gorgeous weather
for work.
and
I'm having breakfast and sitting outside.
Lovely. So we've got 9 people here so far. Hi, Ifosa. If I pronounced your name properly. And who else we've got? We've got Daniel Kennedy. If you want to chat, I think you have to unmute yourself, guys. So I'm just going to unmute a few of you. Let's go into this view. That's a little bit better. Okay, and we are recording here. All right, so I think we might just get started, guys, and as more people come in, because this is going to be the first one of a few, I think, Q&As, and I think we need to do them possibly weekly or even maybe twice a week, because it's going to be dealing with people who, the 3 different groups, the ones that are about to open up their new seller account. So they're wanting to just make sure that it's a check that all their information is right before they do it, because that's quite an important one, which we're finding now. And then I think it's the ones that have and are still having difficulties with being verified. So it's the Amazon's asking for more ID forms and I'm uploading it and they say that it's not eligible, or you're kind of stuck in that stage there. So I think that's kind of another group of people. And then the third one, which are the people who have been told you're suspended and you may not sell on Amazon. So first of all, probably, who should we start with here? We'll start on the top left. Rob, could you just quickly... Hi, Rob. Just perhaps if you could just tell me what stage you're in, 1, 2 or 3.
Okay, we're in stage 3. We've been suspended. So that happened back in sort of November, December. Because again, we did make several mistakes in that sort of the credit card on file was a debit card. The utility bill had got 2 names on rather than the Amazon Seller Central person. And so there was a UK address rather than sort of a New Zealand address. So it's still the same person. A human being could see that there was a tangential link between everything. For a bot struggle. So
you know what, Rob? A year ago that would have been fine, or not, maybe longer than a year, because I think it just started June last year where they really started tightening up. And I think that came around, my theory, and from the research that I've done, everyone, is that my theory is that it's come about because it might be a legal thing that they have to do with the changes in tax. So Amazon is liable under law to know exactly, who's, with the whole new sales taxes coming through, because it kind of coincided with that. So I know that this happened over in Amazon UK. 2-3 years ago, and I can actually find quite a lot of people basically asking the same questions, going, oh my God. So they have tightened things up. So
effectively, we went onto the Amazon forums, found the document you posted on Facebook yesterday, which I think is a brilliant document, and people must read that carefully and thoroughly.
Absolutely.
And so we followed that advice, resubmitted sort of 14th of January. Effectively, we're now in the sort of, okay, what is their service level agreement to come back to us? And I suspect their back office is just in meltdown. So
that's also what I'm feeling as well. And this is the hard thing. I know somebody said, does Sophie have any insiders, people that we can talk to inside Amazon to actually try and get some advice or even get pushed through? But it's not. It's kind of not like that. And you go into this abyss, place where Amazon can't even tell you how long it's going to take, which is incredibly frustrating. And I know you're not supposed to open up second accounts, but I'm going to be doing a little bit of research over the next few days or next week because people are talking about resubmitting. So that's what you did you? Did you do an appeal and then resubmitted, like all the information again?
Yeah, all the information again, because I'm nervous about opening a second account, which effectively Sophie recommended that I open a individual account because Sarah, my business partner, is in the name of the business limited company account that's going through the problems at the moment. So you try and play two horses, but I'm just very nervous about me opening an account up and then saying, Rob, we know you.
So what I've done just recently as well, and this may actually be an angle which we could take. So I have gone into business with my partners in Australia on a new brand. So we're developing a new brand together. I've got my current Amazon seller account that I've been selling under for the last three years. So I've got that one. But of course, I didn't want to put the new brand under that one. So I wanted to, and I also wanted to see if we could actually open up another account. So first of all, I asked for permission. So I actually contacted them and said, can you give me permission to open a second account? But I'll be straight up. And it came back with, you've got to give all this information and we need it in 48 hours or in 24 hours. And I was just thinking, oh, yeah. So then I thought, well, why don't we just open up a second one? And then it was like, well, my current trading company was on the name of that, so we couldn't do that, because if we were going to open a second one, my partner would need to open it. So I would need to have nothing to do with it. So we changed the partnership name. So it doesn't have any attachment to my current other seller account.
Yeah.
And then she's in Australia, so we opened up an Australian account. And when I say we, she's done it from her computer, her IP. So we had a Skype call. We went through the whole thing. We looked at the documents together, made sure that we were happy with the documents before we started. And then just on Skype, we went through the whole thing and filled it out together. So we opened up an Australian one. That was pretty easy, as you can imagine at the moment. And then we opened up a US one. And it's been accepted. So that's great. It took about 10 days, I think. So I can't even log into that account. So, the irony is that you can have VAs that can log into that account. My business partner can log into that account, but to be safe, I'm if I log into that account as well as logging into my one, then they will connect the two of them. So what I'm saying here is, yeah.
You think they're clever enough to link IP addresses?
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah. And the other thing, guys, is that there is a kind of a good reason why Amazon's cracking down as well, because they are trying to get rid of all these fraudulent sellers, and there's a lot of seller accounts open at the moment, which a lot of them from China, multiple accounts, and they are there to disrupt and do bad things to other sellers, legitimate sellers. So Amazon is trying to do the right thing and clean up the playing field of it. So that's one option. So if you do have a auntie or a friend or something like that, but they would have to be the ones that would be logging in to it.
Hi, Lee. Can I just actually not use a VPN?
You can use a VPN, exactly. That's the other way to do it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, if you've got nothing to lose, for example, first of all, taking it one step back, have you actually, if you're suspended or been told that you may not sell on Amazon and it's like the final, that's it, no more communication, has your account ever actually been opened? Because you were going through this verification process. Sure, they allowed you to go into Seller Central, but did you ever actually have an official account? So by starting again...
Well, they've taken sort of one set of money, but not any subsequently.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So that might also be a good thing to ask. Maybe I'll ask CJ, the lawyer who I did an interview with. Maybe I'll just send him a quick email and ask him that. What is the legal, status of an account? Like if that one didn't get opened because the bots weren't able to verify your information, or if things didn't match up, and it's, do you just start again, but this time put in information that all matches up?
Yeah, so I've heard if it's been declined, then at that point you are allowed to try again. But if it's in the process, then you shouldn't try and open it when it's actually in the process of being verified or.
That would make sense, Nikki. Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah.
So this morning, we followed Christo's advice and used the app to get through to the call centre.
Yeah.
So Sarah got through to the call centre this morning, and they escalated it.
Yeah.
So then, we've resubmitted the ID, the matching ID again, so that it's the top of their inbox today. It'll be at the bottom of their inbox by 5 o'clock this afternoon.
That's also worthwhile doing as well, guys, because rather than like endless emails, see if you can't actually, contact somebody and get hold of somebody in seller support. And that's by logging into your Seller Central and going through the need help, and you can actually find, get somebody to call you. So that would probably be a good option. So they call you instantly. They call you back instantly.
It's an automated bot that just puts you in the queue.
For somebody to call you back, is that right?
Yeah.
So does anybody have questions about that? Do you want me to explain a little bit more about that? Because one step back, seller support they're not the ones that can make the changes. It's seller performance, which is the one that makes the changes. So when they were talking about you escalating you, that means getting you out from seller support into seller performance. There's no number for seller performance. So it's just kind of, you're just wanting to speed the process up if you can. So yes. I probably would advise that would be something to do. And I can share my screen now if you'd like to show you how to get through to get somebody to call you. Would that be helpful, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Very messy desktop here.
Like my desktop.
Yeah. It's organized chaos. Okay, so Central. Where are we? All of a sudden, I've lost my passwords. Sign in. That is very unusual. Sorry, guys. I'm just gonna. So I'm having to type in some passwords here. So I'm just going to unshare for a minute and do that, and then I'll get back to you straight away. Bear with me here, team. Oh, I know why. Sorry, I'm under the wrong browser, under the wrong Google browser. There we go. Phew, for a minute there, I thought I was actually locked out of my Salesforce account. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen now. Right. So we want to go in the top right-hand corner here. We want to go into the help section. And we want to go into contact us. They make it really, they hide it away, okay? They try and make it as hard as possible for people to call them, which you can kind of understand. Selling on Amazon. And it's just, I think I normally use other issues or your account. Okay, so your account, other account issues, and it pulls up here. Do you want somebody to call you or email? Do you want to email them? So get somebody to call you, and you virtually just type in your number. I normally click saying it's urgent. Query about, you can be very brief in there. Query about account suspension. Call me now, and somebody will call you back pretty much, I find, pretty much straight away. Okay, and talk with them and ask them about whether or not you should, sorry guys, I'll just, here we go. Whether or not you should open up and, you can open up in your account, or, just whatever questions that you've got, or say I'm having issues being verified with my identification. Maybe even ask, can you see my identification there? Do I need to submit any other forms? Just see what they say. Be prepared that, you could hang up the phone and get somebody else to ring you back, and they may say a completely different thing. Okay. I'm just going to stop my share here.
Kylie, I can't you were because my screen looks different because it's deactivated. So what tab were you under initially to get to where you went to?
Okay. I'll just share again.
Sorry.
It's all right. Okay. So
if I may just quickly barge in, Nikki.
Yeah.
I'm also deactivated. So what I did, I went on to the phone app, and on your phone app, you can go through the same way to get to. Yeah. So
Brilliant.
yeah, because I did it through my phone app because I'm also deactivated.
So could you not find it on the desktop version?
I didn't know about it. Somebody just told me about it on the phone app, and so that's why I did it on the phone app.
Okay.
Brilliant.
I'm also deactivated, so my screen I think will look the same as yours.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yes,
It seems to be
so
the
we got
same
through our phone app this morning.
Oh, I see, guys. Okay, so you're not able to access this area of help because you haven't been approved yet. Is that
There's an account there, yeah.
Correct.
okay?
That would make sense.
So in the help
Yeah.
contact us section, you can't access that. Okay.
No.
Right. Okay. Well, then that's really handy, guys. If you use that tip. So can you would you mind talking us through on the app where you went to on the app? Was it communications or?
Basically, in my post this morning, I described
Yeah.
how to do it. Let me just see if I can get it in front of me over here. So you just go on, when you are on the app,
Mm-hmm.
on the top left-hand corner, there's like 3 lines.
Ah, brilliant. Yeah.
And when you go into those 3 lines, there's a couple of things, and you go into account health.
Oh, okay.
And once you got into account health, well, now this looks different than this morning.
There's contact seller support there.
Yeah,
Under those 3
That's
lines.
right.
yeah, that's right. Issues,
That's right. That's correct. So contact seller support, and other
other
issues,
issues.
and then other Amazon services.
Brilliant. Nice.
And then it gives you either an email, phone, or a chat option.
Well, that's good to know. So you learn something new every day. I didn't even know that was there. And I think that bypasses. That's absolutely brilliant. That's an Amazon hack there.
Yeah. We'll stumble through this together, guys.
Yeah, I think so. And exactly. And that's kind of why I was talking with Sophie, and it's just like, I really feel these guys' pain, and she does too. And I said, we've got to do something, about this. And, it's not a one size fits all type thing. It's just a matter of between brainstorming and gathering more information. It's all going to be helpful, I think. Yeah.
Now, I must really say from my side, and I'm pretty sure everybody feels the same way about it. Thank you, Kylie, for taking leadership with regard to this, because I think there's a couple of us that has got that pain, and for you to spend some of your time and your effort and your knowledge, we really just want to thank you very much for what you're doing.
Oh, well, thanks. That's so lovely. Thank you. Now, I understand, especially when you have made an investment, a monetary investment and a time investment and a, mindset investment into this. And, you hit a brick wall, I can imagine it can make you feel very despondent. So just another question. The people that, to everybody who hasn't opened up, is there anybody here which hasn't opened up an account yet?
Me.
Yep. Okay. Hi. Afoso? Is that how I pronounce your name? Yeah. So do you feel confident with the information that, the PDFs and the documents that, to open something up, or do you think that it would be, you still need a little bit of guidance to?
Yes, I'm already in the process. Like, I listened to your first video on how to set up an account.
Yeah.
And when I got to the verification platform, then it requested for my passport and bank statement.
Yes.
Which I submitted, but for the passport, I could not find my country of issue. So that was a bit of a problem, which is Nigeria.
Oh, okay. A coach
Yeah.
asked, we were talking about that. Is James your coach?
Okay, so I think I was a bit too early because I was just listening to the videos and just I started following your instructions.
Yes.
But when I put a call through, they told me they said I should have waited a little bit longer before going ahead with setting up my account.
Oh, I see. I see. So, sorry for asking this question. And
Yeah.
is Nigeria?
Nigeria.
Nigeria? Like, is that?
Yes.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So in the list, it does say that Nigeria is one of the countries that is able to open an account. Do you want me to just double check that for you now? Is that what you're worried about? Is that what one of your
No. Like they asked for my passport number.
Yeah.
And the expiring date.
Yeah.
But there's like a drop-down list, a drop-down menu where it said country of issue.
Yeah.
So, but I could not find Nigeria in there.
Ah, okay. Let me just have a little quick look because I did check on that for you the other day. It showed a list of. Oh, okay. It's Nigeria is not an approved country for seller registration. You would be unable to sell on Amazon. Okay. So, what would your other options be here? Are you based also in the? Was it you that you were based in the
Australia.
UK as well? Australia. Okay. So, do you have a license? Are you able to supply a license instead of a passport? Yeah, that's fine.
Sorry, but there was like no other option for license. It just said passport.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
That's unusual.
Yeah. Yeah, I was wondering why too.
Yeah, because whenever I've gone through it, so it's always giving you the option of passport or a license. But I guess most people have passports, but some people don't have licenses. But maybe you could try calling Seller Central and ask, through your app. Oh, you probably don't have that set up yet. Oh no, of course you don't because you've.
Yeah. So what I did was like there was also like a support something underneath the platform, and I sent a message through. What they did was they reply with give me like a link to go to like their forum, which is more like a FAQ. It wasn't helpful, so I had to like reopen the case. I'm still waiting. I dropped my number too, so asked them to call me, but I haven't received any call yet. Yeah,
okay.
So
that is odd. That's it. Yeah. Sorry, I don't have a direct answer for that. Because as far as I know, that's always been given two options: upload your driver's license or your passport. Yeah. And make sure if your driver's license, guys, has an address on it. I know a lot of the Australian driver's licenses have addresses on it. Make sure it matches all the other addresses. Otherwise, use your passport for identification.
Kylie, sorry to interrupt you. I think he's now raised something which could make a difference. Because I've also got a South African passport, and I also do think that South Africa is not on that list. I'm not sure, but I don't think South Africa is in that list. Even though I stay in New Zealand, I also think that I used my South African passport, and I'm wondering if it's not because of the passport issue that they link that and say that you're not allowed to sell on it. So that's why it would be better maybe not to use a passport if you can, especially if you come from a country that is not allowed, and rather use the local license of the country that you've immigrated to.
That's exactly it, guys. So if you are if you're applying as an individual, okay, for example, and you show your bank statement and it's got your personal address in New Zealand, yeah, definitely show them, but you're from South Africa but living in New Zealand at this stage, definitely show your license if you've got a license here instead of a passport, because they would be like, that's not really matching up. And you want everything to kind of match up. So,
Kylie.
Yeah.
Hi, it's Laura here.
Hi, Laura.
So I haven't opened an account yet. I was planning to do that in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, great.
I have a first coaching session booked for beginning of March. So I was planning to do that just before my first session.
Right.
But I just realized now, listening to you guys, that I may have a problem. So my passport, I'm Romanian. My passport is Romanian. I live in the UK, but that is because UK is still in European Union. So I don't need to change my, papers. And I don't have a residence in UK, although I have a bank account, I pay utility bills. I have everything in UK. Would that be a problem?
Do you have a license, a UK license?
No, you don't need to have a license because it's part of European Union, so you can live anywhere. So does the country of residence in my passport need to match what's in my bank account or the address from my bank account?
They do. So what they're asking for is national, international ID is what they're calling it, isn't it? I think they want to see a copy of your international ID. So, you're either going to need to get a license in the country where you've got your bank statement showing and saying your address is at, or you're going to need to set up from where your passport says.
I don't have a residence there, a permanent residence there, and I don't have a bank account there.
Yeah, that is going to be the problem, but that might be the only thing that you are going to need to do, one or the other, which is
I can get my partner details, I guess, to set up an account. Although I would have
in the UK or in set up one
in the UK.
Yeah,
in the UK.
Yeah. And I know, I mean, sorry.
So Kylie, sorry. So when people talk about license, do they mean sort of a driving license or a separate sort of identification license?
Driving license. Because
so Laurie, that you don't drive in the UK then?
I don't drive because of a different reason. But you don't need a driving license to drive in UK. I can use my Romanian driving license.
Okay.
Can I ask, are you wanting to sell in the UK or in the USA?
In the US.
I was going to say, do you think if you're selling in the UK, they would understand that it would be a European, like if you changed your marketplace, maybe you could get around it because they'd understand there's a partnership with European countries?
I don't know.
Sorry, guys. So that is going to have to, and this is where I know it's a little bit of a pain and you've got a few hoops that you need to jump through, but it's, it is important to get it right the first time. Don't think that they may overlook it, because if you get it right the first time, it'll open up and 10 days, like it did with me, unless of course they decide to ban me for some reason in the next couple of weeks, who knows? But but if you don't and you get red flagged, it holds you up in the system, and that's where it's so you just don't want to get the red flag. Sorry, what was that, Nikki?
There's always a group here for you if that happens.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, good. That's exactly right. Yeah. Sorry, I just finally got what you're saying, Nikki. Yes, I might need some support.
You too.
Yeah. I mean, it happens. It happens to everybody. Yeah. So, but I would say that that's a tricky one, Lara. Yeah. You will just. Is there any possibility that you can actually get an official UK one? Not really.
It is. I can apply for residence, but that will take time to get my residence paper.
Of course, yeah. And your partner? Your partner is in the UK as
My
well?
partner is British. Yes, he's British, so he wouldn't have a
okay.
problem.
Would he be open to opening up the account under his name?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then that's exactly what I would do, because it's just your information is not matching up. It's like, okay, we're not going to be able to solve that. The only other option, if you wanted it under your name, would be to have a residential address that you could show a utility bill to and have a bank account open over there, which is way more time consuming than doing it as a UK resident.
How easy is to change afterwards?
You can change your entity, your business entity afterwards. You do need to be, as soon as that happens though, you will need to be validated. So you'll be having to provide information again. So if you don't need to do that, it's good, because it may just be opening yourself up to be kind of suspended again while they validate you or things like that. So in the ideal world, you wouldn't need to change your entity. I think changing bank statements and changing the name, they ask for a lot more information. Mm. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I hope that helps. Yeah.
It does, yes.
Yeah. So you could do a partnership as the other thing. So you and your partner could do a partnership, which is like it'll have your name on it as well, but they only need one person's details. So you'll be giving his details. But if that gives you any more security as far as going into business with somebody, might be something to look at. Otherwise, it sounds like your partner will be going as a sole trader. I think, yeah. What was that? Did somebody have a question there?
Oh yes, that was me.
Oh yeah.
Sorry about that. I'm just about to ask if it would be smart to upload like your license in place of a passport, if you're not having that option to upload a driver's license.
Oh, I see. Yeah, so they're asking for the passport, but you actually supply driver's license? Could be, because they do give an option down the bottom where you can actually type something in.
For immediate attention. Click on Clean Now to fix these issues.
Is that my is that my computer talking to me? Oh, don't quite know what that was about. I've been having problems with a virus on my laptop yesterday, which is causing me endless problems. Where was I? Yes, so underneath, when you're uploading documents, I think it did for me, it had an area where you could type a comment in. And that's what I did when I opened my last one, or my partner opened the last one. Something about the bank statement, just made some notes about it. So you could do that if OSA could try that, if that's your only option.
Yeah, that's like my only option.
And it sounds like it is. Yeah, because you can't use your passport.
Yeah, I cannot use my passport.
It's
I
just
can also
unusual,
use my partner to.
Because my partner and I, we applied 2 weeks ago, or 10 days ago, and it definitely gave the option of passport or driver's license then. So, yeah, maybe, not too sure about that. They may have just changed it.
Yeah, maybe just for me.
I'm glad you've still got some humour there.
What else can you do?
Yeah.
Yeah, just try to move forward. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would try that. Uploading the license and maybe dropping down a comment saying, maybe I have a license, but available is not for passport, and maybe they can verify that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you could say my passport's expired, or I'm in the process of renewing my passport. Here is my driver's license.
Yeah.
They'll either ask, email you back and say, no, we need to see a passport, or they'll just go, we can't verify you, resend your document, and that kind of loop. So at least you'll know one way or the other. And I think this is
they'll just be like verified.
Yeah, or you might exactly 10 days later your account's open. So I think also, guys, we need to kind of think it's not the final straw. If even when it's like you're banned from selling on Amazon, and it's really hard not to take that personally. It's like, I haven't done anything. And I'm hearing people who say that they've actually even put all the correct information in it, and somehow it's come across like that. But that's very unusual. But that's when you start thinking outside the square and going, right, can I have somebody else who's not in my you can either use a VPN, a private server, but I've heard of people actually going to the extent. In fact, I'll upload links to these articles from people who go to the extent of using different cell phones, different laptops, different servers, the whole thing to operate their new account from. So yeah, it is possible, or having a partner or somebody who's not living at your address, and then I don't see that it would possibly be a problem for you to actually be able to have user access to that account once everything's settled down. I can't have user access to this new account because I've got another account. So it's kind of, but there's no difference between, it's kind of risky, but there'll be no difference between the partner who sets this up for you, or auntie or friend, adding you as a user, as a VA. I mean, I add VAs all the time. I give them user access to my account, and they're in the Philippines and China and all over the place, and it's never an issue. So does that kind of make sense, guys?
Yes.
I put my hand up.
Yeah. But again, I mean, I'm just, putting up some ideas here. I'm not like an expert, guys, and I'd hate for people to try these things and get completely banned and and for it to be my fault. We have to all kind of make decisions ourselves on what we're going to do ultimately. Yeah.
Totally understood.
Okay, do we have any more questions, guys?
Just one.
Carly.
Yeah. Sorry.
Who was going?
Was that you, Kathy?
Yeah, can I jump in there?
Yeah, absolutely.
My computer decided to update last night and I couldn't log in. We were deactivated in the States, and my daughter and I are partners, and we did the driver's license route. We were open in Australia, no problem. We did exactly what we did I did listen to a podcast from Chris Thomas, and I think what my daughter did, being a, Gen Y or whatever, it's 5 years bank statement. She's the old-fashioned way was me. I got it, photocopied my statement, put a texter, and then scanned it back in. But I think she put wiped it out with a computer. And from what I understand, the bots will pick up on that as altering documentation. So I have bought a VPN now. So I want to get on the States because my suppliers are already sending me samples and stuff, and there's no traffic in us.
Not yet.
And like I've come too far down the track. And also warning about UK. If the Brexit happens on the 28th of March, Amazon will shut down all selling to the rest of the Union. So I wouldn't open up an account in the UK until after the 28th of March. But my daughter opened up an account easily.
Sorry, Kathy, could you just... Sorry, we've got a little bit of delay here. Could you just repeat that bit with the opening up the UK account? What were you saying about the March date?
Yeah, so there's a, Brexit, what everyone's talking about.
Okay.
I listened to a podcast, and Theresa May is trying to soften the blow with the trade, but as Amazon's made it very clear, if Brexit goes through the full thing, that all, because a lot of people have UK accounts and can ship to, Germany and everywhere else, that will stop on the 28th of March. So that's really has a big impact on the sales in the UK.
Right.
Because I keep thinking I have to go. It's funny how I can't get into the States, but I can get into other marketplaces.
Yeah. Which again makes me come back and thinking that this must be something to do with this new sales tax, rules which have come through. I keep going back to that. I think they've just had to really tighten up in the US. Yeah. So Kathy, so you've got a VPN. You've arranged a VPN. Is that right?
Yep.
So you
So
think
I haven't
the reason?
tried it.
Sorry. So you feel the reason why you were suspended was to do with a bank statement, just the format in it, and that your daughter, instead of blanking it out with a pen and then scanning it, she did it online, and that was considered forgery of document, or yeah.
Correct.
I have heard that as
So
well,
there is a
guys.
lot of
Yeah.
software, like there's a software, and being a young kid, they want to do everything the modern way. So
Yeah.
the software will wipe out the bank balance and the account number, which you're meant to do.
Yeah.
And then she said it exported then, but I think that's the only thing that I can think of that would have blocked it, because otherwise everything's legit. So we did set up in Australia, instead of my passport, we used her driver's license.
Oh, okay.
Same company, bank statement, same IP, everything, and we got through and we're up and running.
Yeah.
So, but I think if you're deactivated in the States, I can click on a button, reactivate, but nothing happens. Are we done?
Okay, so that's probably, if nothing's happening there, it sounds like you're probably going to need to start all over again, but without the details. So start all over again. I mean, you've actually got nothing to lose. This is the thing, before you go down the VPN track of trying to, have a different IP address, that sort of thing. Would it make sense to actually just go, I'm going to reapply, and I'm going to reapply this time with the bank document in this format, like what you were saying, Rob? Were you? Oh, sorry.
Repeat the question.
Oh, it was kind of like what you were talking about earlier, where it was like the ability to actually reapply.
Yes.
So if you get suspended, like Kathy's in the situation where it's just like, that's it, no more.
No, so what we've done is effectively, in appealing the suspension, sort of resubmitted sort of the aligned paperwork properly. Yeah. So it's not a reapplication, it's merely a continuation of the dialogue under the same entity.
So Kathy, sorry guys, it may be worth reapplying. I mean, because has your account actually been opened? No, they've shut it down. You don't have. Are you able to access Seller Central, or you are, aren't you? Because you can get to that.
Yes. Deactivate says reactivate, and we press the.
Sorry. Woo, it's all happening this morning. Need some more coffee. Yeah. So that would be something. That would be something that to think about. I don't know if anybody's actually done that. Did somebody else have a question before I just heard?
I do, if that's okay.
Yeah.
So when I opening, this is before I signed up with Sophie, and I just opened as an individual, not even as a professional individual. So do you think I can just start the whole thing again, going through the process as a professional seller, and that would it link up to this problem I'm having on my individual account, do you think?
Okay, so when you say individual, what problems are you having with opening up an individual account?
So it's my documents. So it's asked for my documents to be verified, but it's also asking if I'm trading for like trading documents and things, which obviously I've not got to that stage, so I don't have.
Yeah.
So I think going through these, there's a couple of things I can do. I can print off my banks. Like I did print it off from my home computer, but I might even just go into the bank and get one.
That's what we do. Yeah.
Yeah. And so there's a few things I think I can do, but my questions are, do I have to do that by email now? Or is there a place on Seller Central I can re-upload all my documents? Or because I try to open as an individual, so not even to be an individual professional, but just an individual, so I would be selling like just a couple of odd things myself.
Yeah.
So it's not a paid account at all. Do you think I could just scrap that and try and start the whole process as now using a professional account? Or do you think that's
It's interesting that just even as an individual, they're asking you all these questions, because that was the first thing I was going to ask you, because you can have a individual account and a professional seller account, and under that professional seller account you can register as an individual or a sole proprietor.
Yeah.
That's okay, thanks. Or you can register as a LTD PTY company. So to ask those questions to open up the most basic account is really interesting. I do know that you can upgrade from an individual to a professional account, but if you haven't even got the individual opened at this stage,
yeah,
I would say that it would actually probably be fine to open up, to start again.
Which I guess has just gone to a robot. I don't even think it's been seen by a person, but I had said in my correspondence, look, I'm trying to upgrade it to a professional. I want to open this as a business account.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to do all the right things, but I just I'm in this wheel that people keep talking about. You get the same email back,
Yeah.
so you're sending something and they're just repeating the questions, and it is quite frustrating.
It is absolutely frustrating.
Where I changes, but is there somewhere on Seller Central I can upload my updated documents, or do I have to just do the whole thing by email now?
So when are you able to log into a Seller Central dashboard under your individual? Okay. So if you go into the settings, top right, it should give you, I might actually just share my screen, just log in and share my screen, because this is another important thing which we need to look at doing. Let me see here. And it may help you with where to go into. Share. Okay. So up here on the top right, it's settings and account info. So the other thing is, sometimes when you fill out the form and you go, oh my gosh, or suddenly, when you first of all open your account and they do give you access to the Seller Central, and then it's a matter of verifying, and you suddenly go, oh my gosh, I don't think this matches up with this. You can actually change information in here. You should be able to, yeah. So that's where, official registered address, business address, legal entity, those are the main ones, the business information there, okay, that you want to just check is matching up. And so at the moment they are asking for ID, aren't they? Is that right?
Not for me. They want I have my email. Utility bill with name and address visible, business license. If you have active listings, include copies of invoices, receipts. So I don't have active listings. So I'm going to try the utility bill again.
Yeah.
License I don't have because it's under an individual.
Yeah.
So if I'm not filling those 3 criteria and it's just going in a loop, I wonder if that's my problem.
Yeah, I think.
I don't give them one of the 3 things they're asking for.
Yeah. So, I mean, is your seller, if you can't sell on Amazon and you know, is it actually opened? What is considered an opened account? Yeah, that's where I kind of feel that if you started all over again and they said you're trying to open a second account, or we've connected you to another account, if you maybe screenshot your information there just in case they don't include it, and just, you know, the dialogue saying, I'm trying to open up a professional account, I'm supplying all the correct information, but it's still not going through. They can see, or maybe even have dialogue there saying, can I close this account down now and start again?
Yeah.
With a new quick question for Nikki, is your utility bill in your sole name rather than Nikki and partner?
No, not without going back and checking. Seems like a long time ago. I think I tried to get everything in just my name, but I do know my bank statement had a trading as, so it was Nikki Buckley Trading as. And so I've got another account that is just in my name as an individual. So I was going to go and get the statement for that one and upload that.
Yeah, so I would just have everything as Nikki Buckley, full stop.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
So if I set up as an individual and later go to a limited company, is it a headache to do that conversion? Is it easier to just do the whole thing in a limited company straight away? Or is changing details quite straightforward?
Good question. I'm just going to share with you again because I just want to see if you can access this area here. Can you go into, when you go into your Seller Central and you go into account info?
Yeah.
Can you access this button legal entity? Probably not if you're trying to set up just as an individual. But that's where you can actually change. Yeah, if you don't have it. But that's in the future. That's where you can change from a sole proprietor partnership to a PTY and things like that. But yeah, no, that probably doesn't help you.
So, no, I can access that, and it does say I can swap that. I wonder if it's worth me trying to move that to the business straight away.
Yeah.
The whole done in one go.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
See what happens. I think also we get a little bit frozen, and it's like, oh my gosh, if I don't do this right or this right, that's it. It's all over. But I think, this ultimate, we need to still have faith that in the end, yes, we can get somebody else to open the account up for you, and you can get user access to it. Yes, you can use, look at using a VPN. But obviously, it's trying to take people back, before they're actually opening up an account to make sure all these things match up. And then, the people which are stuck in the middle, it's like, oh my God, how do we escalate this? Kathy?
Kali, can I ask something?
Yes, Mike, yeah.
Okay. Mine is a different issue. I have got, my account was up and running.
Yeah.
I enlisted my listings and everything was good.
Yeah.
And on 2nd of December, what happened, I changed my deposit method from OFX to TransferWise because I thought TransferWise is a better option.
Yeah.
As soon as I changed my OFX to TransferWise, I got an email that has been accepted and it will take 3 days to update all your information.
Mm-hmm.
And straight away after that, I got your account being deactivated after that.
Okay.
After 5 minutes, right? And after that, I have been, writing letters and everything. But in this, I think now nearly 3 months. So they have given me that advice that you have to remove your stock because at the same time, my stock arrived at the FBA, 2nd of December or 3rd of December. So I have to remove my old stock. and they said that I got two. There you got not following this their restricted product policy. My item was like a really very basic item. Then even then I deleted my all the listings just to happy them, like I'm doing a bit best possible thing what I can do for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I removed the listing. And right now I think 15 to 20 times I've become good friend with them, like Serral Central. I just always talk, and they talk in 20-30 minutes and half an hour, and then discuss. Like really, I'm really very comfortable. I think 15-20 calls I have made it like in this during that period, and maybe 13-15 big emails and everything, all the details and everything I have been doing. So now my comes to this point, they always come and check my account, but they say you have 2 accounts. So that's why we have suspended you, like from the Serral Central support.
Right.
So, but okay. But the thing is this, I explained them as well. I have got the same email I shared with as a buyer. Not as a, okay. So I told them that's the, and if you change one email, because during that period, I changed my email ID as well for the US account, and it automatically changed my buyer email as well. I think they are linked. Again, a couple of days back, again, I spoke to them, I explained them. So they said, no, that shouldn't be any problem because they can see this is a buyer account and this is a seller account. Amazon can understand these 2 things. Yeah, so it's now nearly 3 months, and I have been keep trying and talking and appeal and everything.
How frustrating,
so
especially
nothing.
Especially
I have to remove. I have to remove my inventories. I have to delete my listings and everything, and nothing is there. It's a new account. That was the first I was going to do it. When I opened my account in August, and I joined Sophie Howard, and I had few issues initially, and they were really very cooperative with me, like in month of August or July, and they just rang me. We were doing only the review, and you don't have any problem in the future, and they were really very supportive, and I was really very impressed.
Yeah,
and it was up and running, but my goods get delayed, so it took time initially, and then on the 2nd of December, as soon as I changed my OFX to TransferWise, everything was fine. And it's just triggered, and
triggered.
And now it's it's nearly 3 months now.
Yeah, Mike, I'll just Crystal, you're off. Yeah. Thank you. And anybody else, we can go another 5 minutes to wrap up. But if anybody else needs to leave because we're going over just a little bit. Is that Kathy? Kathy, yeah. Were you waving? You're muted, Kathy. Sorry, you need to let me unmute you. Unmute. There we go. Sorry, what was that?
Just be very careful about different opening up in your partner. Sorry, you there?
Sorry, Kathy. Yeah, that's just a really bad reception. Sorry, I'll just, Kathy, if you don't mind, I'll just wrap up with Mike. Mike, it sounds like it may be time to have you tried the Jeff at Amazon.com email?
No, I haven't. I haven't tried it, but that's my last option. I'm just thinking. So
yeah. It's I've heard of success stories with this, guys, as well. If you write a very articulate email, there is, it's not him personally opening this, you can imagine. In his spare time, but there is, it is an escalation team, and they do read them. And if it's a well thought out letter, it's also an option. I know you kind of think that's my last resort, but we've got to start trying some of these things as well. And it sounds a little bit more complicated, with you, because they think that you're opening up 2 accounts, and it's kind of might have to do a little bit more thought on that one, and just keep updating us with how you're getting on. It sounds very, that you maybe need to actually get another person to open up a completely new account, withdraw your stock, and put it back in under that one, which is possible to do. So your business partner or your
name, but this is my individual as a sole trader. I opened my as a sole trader.
Yeah.
And one thing quickly, anytime when I spoke to centers many times, and they said, "Oh, we have escalated your case," and they write all the reports and everything, and somebody will contact you in like 2 days. So this has been a conversation I had like 4 or 5 times, and very seriously with all the details, all the points they noted and escalate my case. And but nothing happened after that. And I have been appeal. I have done like couple of times, like 3-4 times. I have done my appeals, all the documents and everything. I'm repeating same thing because you can't change much. So, but
Mike, the other option I would recommend for you would be to pay somebody to now represent you and put an appeal through. There are some people, and I'll try and see if I can dig them out, who actually have a money back guarantee type thing, like you pay when I'm not too sure how it works, but so it can range from $350 to $1,200, where they actually put the appeal in and they get it escalated, and so suspension consultants. If you Google Amazon suspension consultants, it might be time to do that, because you're probably going to need to have a cut-off with what you feel is fair in business, where it's like, okay, I'm losing so much business, it's been 2 months, I think I need to pay some money to get it sorted now. And if that doesn't work in the email to Jeff Bezos,
that's true.
that's when you open up an account. Your friend does, or something along the lines, but you will never be able to access it personally. You won't be able to log in because they will match IP addresses. So.
Oh, okay. Because
does that make sense?
My second thought is this, because I have got my New Zealand set up as well.
Yeah.
My family is still in New Zealand. I have got all set up, my houses and everything in New Zealand. So currently I'm in Sydney. But what I'm thinking, like, my wife can open over from there, from the New Zealand. She has got all their own separate documents, like all the bank accounts, not with me, like separate.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the other thing being is that what do we, is logging into Seller Central, we do a lot when we're first starting out, because you're getting familiar with it. But you can actually pay a VA, 15 for 15 hours a week or 10 hours a week to log in, to do all the responding to customers, that whole thing on behalf of you. If the new if you're concerned that the new person, that you're not going to be able to log in, and the new person is going to have to go through such a big learning curve to understand it and doesn't really want to spend the time. Outsource somebody to do your PPC, set up your PPC campaigns. Kathy, were you waving?
Just be careful of opening in someone else's name for tax purposes. So if your wife's on the top tax bracket, all that income stream from Amazon will go on her. So you want to have a company that you can distribute the money. Just be careful of setting up in someone else's name.
That's very smart. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Got it. That's a good idea.
If you've got children that are going to university, they can have the first 20,000 for free. So you just got to think these things through when we think we're a bit clever, setting up or if you have an entity with the family trust, you can distribute the funds back to yourself or anywhere else. So just be careful.
I like your way of thinking there, Kathy, especially when you have the mindset of making a lot of money, which you can do, and this is what we need to keep in mind, and to help us kind of jump through these hoops that we're coming through now. And I think this is why it's good to have a these group sessions. So I'm looking at doing these weekly, probably continue the same time. If everybody wants to kind of keep moving on. And in the meantime, we're going to just keep the dialogue going in Facebook, updating, the successes, any information that we think is helpful, make it a group effort. Just keep moving forward. Okay.
Thanks, Kelly, for this one. If you have any contact for the suspension lawyer or something, I would appreciate if you can put PM me.
Yeah, I have found lots. I've got so much information when I was researching it before Christmas time. so there's a lot more of information that I can put up, YouTube videos, you know, suspension experts, all that sort of thing. So I'll put that up as well. Okay.
I would really appreciate it. Yeah, that's all.
So we're going to have to wrap up now, but I wish everybody a really good day and a great weekend.
Thanks, Kelly, for your time.
Yeah, you're welcome. We'll hopefully get everybody with accounts opened soon.
Thanks, Kelly.
Okay, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks so much.
Thank
See you guys.
Bye. Bye.